out how to like edit the videos within YouTube. Like I just feel like an idiot because I haven't done any of that from day one. So and you watch exclusively through YouTube, right? You don't listen to them
Right,
regularly.
I watch it on YouTube.
See, I talk to a lot of people who do the who do both. That will that'll watch YouTube and then they'll listen to audio and they're like, dude, the audio is just like so much cleaner because the YouTube I'll just set it and then I'll start setting up and everything and just kind of like
Mm.
leave all that stuff. But I figured out now that I can trim the beginning and the end off, so I'll have just the content in the middle. And I didn't realize I could do that through YouTube. So now we'll be having that, and I can put links at the end of the video.
Links.
Links. Scott Mann, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, are we on?
we're on.
Oh, right on. Okay.
We're on.
Hi.
Hi. But I've told the kind listeners, as you probably have heard, that we were going to be doing a little marathon for meals episode.
Yeah. Okay. I'm always up to talk about that this time of year.
Well, it's that time. It starts Friday, correct?
It does. It's hard to believe, but here we are. I mean, everything just as soon as the whole thing with the hurricane started, everything just went by in just a flash.
Right.
I mean, I can't even try to, it's gonna. I'd hate to be the guy whose job it was to do the end of the year recap, like on the news.
Oh, wow.
For this year,
Yeah.
I mean, everything is just. I'd forget half of everything. It's just a blur. But
It really is.
but here we are. And on the Grand Strand, the Wave 104.1 Marathon for Meals is the official kickoff of the holiday season. Don't let anybody tell you it's anything else either. Just because the day after Halloween, I saw them starting to put up like Christmas display in front of the Myrtle Beach Convention Center and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's not. When the Marathon for Meals hits, then it's the holiday season.
That's what's wrong with the world is we decided to skip Thanksgiving and go straight to Christmas.
Yeah,
We don't want to give
no.
thanks. We want presents.
No, Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday of them all.
Well, it's something that people really need to pay more not attention to, I guess is the wrong thing to say. They need to pay more respect towards Thanksgiving. Not necessarily the whole pilgrims coming in and stealing the land from the Indians, but the fact that we have something to be thankful for.
Well, yeah, that's a big chunk of it. For me, it's just, everybody waits for this time of year because they're all waiting for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting for Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving to me is just, you just get together with people you love. You eat a lot of really good food. Some people watch sports ball and some people, don't. We just, but we just eat good. We hang out with friends. We gather around the radio and listen to Alice's Restaurant at noon and 6. And it's a great day. It's a day just to relax if you feel like having drinks or whatever. It's just a great day. You don't feel any. The most pressure you have is, oh my God, I have to get the green bean casserole done.
Yeah.
You don't have to go out shopping for 6 weeks in advance. You don't have to decorate the house from top to bottom. I mean, you can if you want, but it just seems like there's no pressure. Who do I buy for? Who do I not buy for? Do I get a card? No, there's no card. It's Thanksgiving.
Yes.
You stuff your face. You be thankful, and it's Thanksgiving. It's just awesome.
And if you're not dealing with people who want to just throw their belief system on you all the time.
Well, that's the
better.
beautiful thing about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, unlike the December holidays, I'll call them the December holidays because there are so many of them.
Yes,
There's one for each faith, right?
Indeed.
Thanksgiving's not about that. I mean, it's not a faith-based holiday. I mean, some people see it as a chance to thank their higher power, but it's not a faith-based holiday. It's an idea. It's an idea. It's an American idea. Maybe it should go worldwide, but it's an American idea of just, I'm thankful for what I got. I want to get together with people that I love, tell them I'm thankful for them.
Yes.
And let's eat.
And who's got a problem with that?
Right, but I mean, it's everybody in this country has a piece of Thanksgiving. I mean, Thanksgiving is for everyone. There's no division there. It's my favorite holiday. That and New Year's Eve if I'm at the right show.
Oh man, Halloween's mine. I love Halloween. Did you see my Halloween stuff?
I did.
The clown ventures.
I did.
So I was terrified of clowns my entire life, and last year I decided, I was like, you know what? I think I know how to beat this thing.
I will become
I
what I
will
fear.
Yeah, exactly. I will become what I fear. And you know what? I know that it's probably demented and makes me look like an idiot. Or not an idiot, but it just makes me look a certain way. But I really enjoy scaring people.
That's a little demented.
I know, but I really enjoy scaring people. And not only that, like I shouldn't have. I went down to the Marsh Walk like earlier in the day, like when the kids' costume contest was going on, and just walked up and down the Marsh Walk and didn't speak to anybody carrying the club. Like it was really freaky. I went down twice, and everybody was like, "It's the kids' competition. You're gonna have to come back at 7." And I wasn't speaking, so I couldn't say I'm not here to compete.
I'm not here to compete. I'm just here to screw with everybody.
Yeah, I just wanted to say hey to you, but I'm not speaking. I just wanted to honk my horn.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's the holiday season. We will circle back around.
Indeed, yes. Sorry.
Circle back. No, we all need to be reined in once in a while. You know you got to do that for me.
Yeah.
But
it's a sweet shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. It was a gift from one of the guys in the Dubtown Cosmonauts.
Nice.
His roommate made him. So there it is. Real nice. I love this shirt. Anyway, so here we go. Marathon for Meals. It starts Friday.
Yes.
At 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to be out the food line at 38th Avenue North. We will be there for the whole 7 days. We're not going mobile this year. We're just parking ourselves right there. Couldn't be any better. You go in, you buy, you come out, you donate. Everything's cool. You did it all in one quick thing. Everybody's got to go to the supermarket at some point, so just come on by Food Line at 38th. Now, we do have additional drop-off points. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. But basically, we're going to start there at 8 o'clock Friday morning, and we'll broadcast live from 8 to 6 Friday, Saturday, 10 to 6 on Sunday, and then back to 8 to 6 Monday through Thursday the 15th. Thursday the 15th at 6 p.m. will be when it all wraps up. We've got our Soxty Heritage Festival trailer again, 16-foot trailer.
Nice.
We will fill it top to bottom, end to end. Non-perishables and hygiene items for Helping Hand of Myrtle Beach and Community Kitchen of Myrtle Beach. We will have lists of what both agencies need on one convenient sheet of paper to save a tree, and we'll hand them out to everybody who will take one. So, come on by the food line, and we'll just give you a list, and then you just go shop and get, one thing or 20 things or whatever you can do.
Now, how many years is this going?
This is Marathon for Meals number 16.
16 years.
16 years. And, in fact, you know what? I know this is live, but I got to do this. Hang on.
No. Go, by all means.
You talk.
No, so, all right, 16 years, obviously, and I'm not sure Scott can verify this. I'm not sure that there's another, what's the word I'm looking for? Another fund or whatever have you, a fundraiser or food raiser, if you will, that has raised more food. I don't think that anybody else has done more than Marathon for Meals has.
For what?
For raising food, for raising.
Oh, I don't know if I'd go that far.
This area.
In this area, Marathon for Meals. There are people who do things for these agencies year round, and the schools do a lot of good.
Yeah.
And the churches do a lot of good.
Absolutely.
And the stores themselves around here do a lot of good. Both the Community Kitchen and Helping Hand have partners all over town that help them out. I'm not sure what their biggest bulk donation of the year is. I like to think that ours is one of them. I do know that every year when I walk into the office for Community Kitchen and I walk into the office for Helping Hand, the first thing I get is a hug.
Yeah.
So, they
doing something right.
They look forward to it. They plan for it. That's the thing. They get the stuff we bring in through Marathon for Meals. We deliver it right after Thanksgiving, and they will use that food all the way through April.
Wow.
So it's really important, especially on our better years. And this is one of those years where it's like, not only do we have the typical need for this time of year, not only are they getting ready to go into their winter season, which for us around here is our slow season, so there's even more people in need.
Yeah.
But with the flooding and everything, there's even more people in need.
Absolutely.
And the thing you got to remember is, and this conversation is going to go in a lot of different directions, but the thing you got to remember is, I got something I want to show you too.
Okay.
Is people get this idea in their head that when you are collecting food for the hungry, they confuse that with collecting for the homeless. Now, this food will help homeless people. There is no doubt about it. And, in this country, in this world, the homelessness still baffles me to a certain extent.
Absolutely.
You know, we should be able to, we're the richest country in the world. We shouldn't have people living in the streets. We shouldn't have veterans living in the streets, which is a whole other discussion, you know. But the thing is that there are people who kind of look down their nose at the homeless, and when you tell, I've done the Marathon for Meals and asked somebody, you know, would you like a shopping list? No, I don't want to give food to the homeless. They need to, you know, earn it and work for it. You know, and I'm like, that's not what this is about.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, we're in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and as much as we've become a year-round town, all our businesses slow way down in the winter. Especially the restaurant industry, the service industry, and a lot of people who have full-time jobs during the season wind up with part-time jobs in the off-season, which means they're not necessarily making enough money to cover all the bills and the medication for the kids and the food and the taxes and the gas and this and that and the other and the child care. Let's not forget about that. So money gets really tight for people who work hard and have jobs, sometimes more than one. So they go to these agencies to kind of bridge the gap. They can get food from Helping Hand to take home for their kids, healthy food, you know, for food groups and all that. They can go and have a hot lunch at the community kitchen. This is not for homeless people. This is for our neighbors, okay? There's a very good chance that somebody that you know, somebody that I know, anybody that's watching this or hearing this, there's a chance that there's somebody in your office that you work with that uses those services. So this event feeds people. There's no specifics on it. And that's something I'm very big on. One of the reasons that I chose from the very beginning to work with Helping Hand and Community Kitchen is because there was no strings attached, basically. You go in there and you ask for help. They interview you and they help you. If they can at all help you, they will help you. You know, when somebody comes to you and says, I'm hungry, you don't ask them why they're hungry. You don't ask them how they came to be hungry. And you don't ask them what they're willing to do for food either. You feed them. Then you talk about it. But if somebody's hungry, you feed them. And that's what we do here for the Marathon for Meals every year. And it's become a very, like I said, they've come to rely on it, and we love doing it. I mean, it's morphed over the years, but its mission remains the same.
I'll tell you something that I bet you did not know. The first time that Cornbread played for Marathon for Meals we were at Broadway, I'm pretty sure. And it was
back in the days when I was still camping out.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask if you were going to camp out this year, but I figured
no. In fact, that year you're talking about, that was 2012, I think.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah, and that was the last year of the camping. It was so cold that week.
Yeah, it was freezing.
Between that and my wife saying, you know, I'd really rather you not, you know, stay away from home in a parking lot for 7 days every year anymore.
Yeah.
12 years is enough. So I agreed to it, and we revamped it. But yes, that year you guys played, and it was so cold.
The first time we played there was one of the first times that Cornbread played Grateful Dead. I remembered, I was like, Scott's a Grateful Dead head. I know we don't do a lot of that stuff, but you guys are just going to have to follow me on this one. And we did this, I think we did All Dead. I think we did like All Grateful Dead, like a long Dead jam or something like that day. And that was one of the first times when I was like, this is what we're going to do.
And look at you now.
I'm sorry. We're gonna do this. But yeah, I was with Marathon for Meals is responsible for us adding Grateful Dead, I think, to our
Marathon for Meals. I've got so many memories of these things. There are people I only see at the Marathon for Meals every year.
Which is great.
But I've got so many Marathon for Meals memories and stories and stuff. But this year is a really different year. It's kind of evolved again. We're back to one location, which is the 38th Avenue North food
Which
line,
is very smart, by the way,
yeah.
putting it at a grocery store so people can literally go in and buy things.
It's a long story that I'm not really going to go into now, but the whole thing was designed to be at a grocery store.
Yeah.
The way we ended up with at Broadway at the beach was a long story, but it worked out for us. We were fine at Broadway for many years, but this just works perfectly. We're here. You're there anyway. grab a few extra things. And the great thing about Marathon for Meals is it truly, you know, I've been saying this through the hurricane and everything. If you're not somebody that needs help, you can give help.
100%.
But the great thing about Marathon for Meals is that is so literally true. Because it is so inexpensive to donate to Marathon for Meals. I mean, look.
$10 worth of canned foods is a lot of food.
Look, for some people, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay? But a can, one can. Every single item that we get helps. And the beautiful thing is there are people every year that come and say, those agencies have helped me, and now I'm back on my feet, so now I have to give. Or I've had people that come and say, I still go to Helping Hand once a month. I still have to go to Community Kitchen, but I can spare this.
Yeah.
You know,
that's what we need more of.
But there's something about it that people really connect to. I mean, they're all divisions between people disappear during Marathon for Meals. I mean, you know, there's a lot of people that give that never hear about it on the radio, never hear about it from something like this, never see it in the paper. They just happen to be shopping one day. You know, we hand them a list on their way in. They come out, hand us a couple bags, some people come out and give us a whole cart full of stuff. It's unreal, the level of giving and generosity, and it cuts across every single line that any statistician wants to draw. I mean, I have gotten wonderful donations and heard great stories from rich and poor and black and white and Mexican and Republican and Democrat, right wing, left wing, sane, insane, you name it. I have had somebody come and make a donation and hang out and talk, and it restores my faith in humanity every year.
Which we
right
really
about
need.
The time that I desperately need it.
Yeah, especially it's really difficult to deal with the world when you look at it the way that we both like to look at the world. We both like to, and I think we both see more negative things than we like to admit. And when there's positive things also, see we see the negative side of things more often than not. And that's just, I think that's just because maybe we're those.
I don't know. It's at certain times, it's hard not to.
Yes.
Okay, and whether we like it or not, whether you're happy about yesterday's election results or not, whatever, we're living in a time right now where like I said, in the last year, we've all been through a lot.
Absolutely.
And it's been pretty cloudy out there in the world, and we're all looking for a few rays of sunshine. Sometimes in history, it's harder to see the sun than others. But it's there. It's there. We saw it after the hurricane, and we saw it after the floods, and we'll see it in the Marathon for Meals, and we'll see it after that, you know, in some other way. But it's out there.
There's always something that can turn you around when you're feeling that way, and I get that. I was just telling you a while ago, just been out of it lately. Like I just haven't been lethargic, haven't really felt up to doing much, and I know what depression feels like, and it's not that. It's just, you know, I'm just tired or whatever it is, and you need a reason to feel good about things, I guess. And there's always something that happens to make you feel good about things. And I just really like knowing in the Marathon for Meals situation that there's so many who are willing to give things that other people really need.
They really are. It's a wonderful thing. And I'll tell you what, this event has, like I said, it's evolved over the years. I want to show you this.
Okay.
You can hold it up to the screen. But the first year we did the Marathon for Meals, I slept in a tent and then in the back of the wave van. And we used a landscaping trailer to collect the food. It was, I think it was 2002, and this is a picture. This is a picture from then. That picture was taken in 2002. It was in the one of the Horry County newspapers. But that's from 16 years ago.
Here, you can check this out and pause it. Oh, there we go. There's Scott and Scott.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh my goodness, that's old.
So, hey, YouTube or something.
Oh, I didn't know. That's why not.
We're doing the world famous MI podcast.
Okay.
And you just show up. Hey, everybody,
What's
look,
up,
it's
dog?
Hooker.
Hi, guys. This is my new adoption friend.
I saw her on Facebook. Who is this?
As did I.
Chloe.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
We're
Sorry
just
to interrupt.
we're just yakking about Marathon for Meals.
Well, I had to go return the 2 huge-ass Jengas that we rented from EventWorks.
Nice.
And I decided I would go take her to the brewery and get ready for our little post-chili meeting next Thursday at New South and come see you guys. I wanted to introduce the dog.
Well,
Yeah,
awesome.
the rain got us Sunday.
But we were talking about all kinds of good things going on
Indeed.
and rays of sunshine through the clouds. How did Chili Kickoff turn out? Looking pretty good?
Really well. We're waiting on final numbers, but the event itself was awesome, and everybody was really happy. And volunteers we haven't seen in 10 years came out. We had new volunteers. Man, it was just great. I'm so happy. Everybody's very positive about it. And the rain, it's kind of a blessing in disguise. Getting people out of there can be difficult. The rain came, and all of a sudden, whoosh, clean parking lot. I think we had there was maybe
You're stuck.
3 spots that had trash in them, and they were already bagged up and tied up. So all we did,
Well,
Yeah,
your new
stuck
friend
something.
here is all.
tangled up.
There we go.
Tangled up in.
But yeah,
is
we're
Bob Dylan coming? I heard he was coming.
at least
Beach.
twice a day. Oh,
Willie Nelson's coming to North Charleston,
is Bobby coming to Myrtle?
and I heard it was in the works, but I wouldn't know. I'm still upset about Wani.
Yeah.
Oh
me
man,
too.
yeah. No, are they just moving the location, or they're not doing it at all?
There will not be a Wani in 2019.
Ah,
Is that just
Who
a
has?
family problem? I mean,
Don't know. They have a different festival that weekend at Suwannee this year.
that's not cool.
It's more of an electronic leaning festival. But maybe we can fill the void with Trondosa.
Right. I heard Trondosa's lineup is awesome.
So
So
I'm not familiar with all this stuff, but
Trondosa
but I
is the
will
2-day
be.
festival that's going to be down in Charleston again. It was last year. It was Widespread Panic and Sturgill Simpson and Big Something.
it was
Okay.
good. It was really good.
This year, for 2019, they've got Widespread Panic, Humphreys McGee. Who else? There was a couple.
That's as far as I got, and I went, yes.
Yeah.
right?
Marcus
Humphreys
King.
is so good.
Marcus King.
Marcus
Dude, that
King.
covers the album that Humphreys released is so good.
Yeah, they're a great band.
They are.
Marcus is a Greenville boy, right?
Yep.
Those
Reach-
pipes.
If you could let him know we're having our 20th anniversary Chili Cook-Off next year. Marcus, wherever you are.
We're also booking for.
It was awesome. I had a good time there this year. I thought it went really well.
Well, get ready.
I mean,
We gotta get some original tunes together so we can do some of these gigs coming up.
we need to make sure Bucksport is.
Bucksport. The word on
Doing well,
Bucksport.
'cause it was
The
on
word
the
on
water.
Bucksport right now is that there is going to be some rebuilding going on. They got to tear down the restaurant and do some rebuilding on that. Tearing down the bathhouse, and they're going to put a temporary bathhouse in until they can rebuild that. But the bar is fine. The stage area is fine. Our music area is going to be fine, and onward and forward.
I was
Onward and
more worried
forward.
about Bucksport, the town, like the neighborhood. I know they got
Well-
swamped.
The water receded.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that
The arena was so low lying anyway. I mean, even at Waccamaw Getaway, we had planks
Yeah.
here and there behind the building because the just the elevation is so low there.
It's right on the water.
You're trying to get cases of beer out of the back and get them to the bar, and you
Yeah.
got to play hopscotch over. There's boards and stones and
That's not fun.
no,
Probably fun to look at.
good spot, good times last year. I enjoyed it. All right, well, I'll get out of your hair. Next Thursday, 6:00, we're gonna do chili recap meeting at New South,
All right.
which I know you probably need directions
Yeah,
You probably-
finding New South is tough for me
in the dark.
in the dark, blindfolded, after being spun around 3 or 4 times.
He has to redirect his GPS to go home afterward.
What's up,
and
dog?
Not go by New South.
There you go. All right then.
Good to see you guys.
Uh,
Hey, good to see you, buddy.
We'll
See you, dog.
we'll do something soon. I want to do something at the dog bar soon too.
Don't walk out without the dog.
The barking dog down there in Merle's Inlet. We're going to take her down there because Laura and Shorty live behind there,
Yeah.
and Danny obviously.
All
All
right.
right, kiddos.
Love you, buddy.
Aubin Hooker, everybody.
Hooker.
This hole is not sponsored by Corn.
Pigpen.
Yes. So, anyway, that picture from the first marathon for me, that's crazy.
That is crazy,
Um,
man.
But we've gone through so many changes. That first year, tent, landscaping trailer. Then the second year, that's when the Sockasty Heritage Festival trailer joined us. It wasn't always the Sockasty Heritage Festival trailer. It had different names on it over the years, but it's the same trailer. And it's donated by my friends Dennis and Casey. They donate it every year. Dennis brings it every year. We fill it. He brings it here. Then he brings it over to deliver the food. And he's always there, come hell or high water. And
those people are necessary.
They are, and I love them to death. But we had that second year, I borrowed a beat-up old RV from somebody to stay in, and then after that we were able to get RV sponsors and stuff. But then when we left Broadway and started doing it at various supermarket locations and stuff, we had to revamp the way we did it, but we did, and it worked out. And now, of course, everybody's involved, and that's great.
And it's more now the original plan that you had.
Yeah, to a point. It's been altered a bunch of different ways. You got to understand, I blatantly and admittedly stole the Marathon for Meals from the station I worked at in Greenville, South Carolina, Rock 101 up there.
That's a hell of a thing to steal.
Yeah, I know. I worked the 7 to midnight shift. Our afternoon guy, who is a guy by the name of Tony Magoo, who I'm still friends with on Facebook, and I just talked to him the other day.
Can't make that up.
Every year he congratulates me on another year of marathon because he knows that he inspired me to do it. So, it started out as one thing, and now it involves the whole radio station. And everybody will be out all week long. Rick Roberts and I will both be broadcasting our air shifts live from the marathon. I'll be starting out in the morning between 8 and 10 and checking in with Tommy and Corby. Tommy and Corby will actually each be out separately during this weekend. And our night guy Charlie Steele will be out there too over the weekend, and I mean everybody gets to do a little bit, and everybody helps out, and a lot of the people that work here at the other radio stations, when we have transportation issues getting like from the station and over to the site and back, they'll play taxi driver, and I mean everybody helps out, and a lot of people help out by becoming alternate drop-off points, because let's face it, we've got a big listening area here, and we're right in the middle. Where our location is right in the middle. But if you can't get to us, chances are there's a drop-off point near you. We have them all listed at wave104.com. So there's always somewhere to do it. We've got them in Conway. We got them out at Carolina Forest, out near Coastal. We've got one right in Sockasty. They're all listed there. And there's always more added as time goes on. Somebody calls me up and says, I can do it,
So in other words, if people want to help, it's very easy to do so.
Yeah, and this is the big thing this year. On Friday morning during the 9 o'clock hour of our first day, we're going to have an official from Food Lion actually on the air with us, and he or she, because I'm not sure who it's going to be yet,
who are we to assume,
is going to make an announcement. Something is being done for this Marathon for Meals that has never been done before.
Now, do you know what this thing is?
Yes,
and
I do
not. Okay. Spoiler alert is not coming.
No.
There's no spoilers.
No, I can't say. All I can say is it's pretty freaking awesome.
That's pretty freaking awesome. Well, I'm stoked that you're able to do this at the grocery store, because that is going to make it a lot easier for people to donate things.
Right, and we've been doing it at the grocery store.
Yeah.
This will be our 4th year doing it this way, and it is a lot more convenient for people.
Absolutely, it is. And also, I'm stoked that you don't have to be away from your house for 7 days. Now, not that I know that's an issue, but that's more of an issue for me than most people.
Yeah.
Because I'm so weird about not being home.
Yeah, it was those 12 years sleeping in the camper. There's all kinds of adventures that went along with those things. The year I was being treated for cancer, still did the marathon, slept there for 7 days. Granddaughter born, I was at Broadway. That was one. But I left. That was one of the only. In the 12 years that I slept 7 days at Broadway,
well, that's a hell of a reason.
I only left the grounds twice during that 7 days. Once was for my granddaughter to be born, and I was gone for an hour and a half, and I saw her at the hospital, and went, woo, and the whole thing, and love all around, and then back to the camper. And the other time was when we refinanced our house. I had to run across the street to the bank across the street and sign some papers.
I mean,
but other than
that's commitment, man.
But other than that, no, and we didn't leave. It's just the way it was, and Now, again, it's so much easier for everybody, and we accomplished the same goal. And we've done all kinds of weird things at it. We've done everything from have like Over the Moon Productions doing fire shows and stuff to having bands. You played it.
Yeah.
Last year, even Doc Simons came and sat and played acoustic in front of the 38th Avenue store while we were there for a couple hours.
Doc is an absolute monster. He so did I tell you? Have I talked to you since the pit?
Yeah, the tribute to the band.
Yeah.
Yeah, you thought you were going to go on early, and you were not on
Man.
like last or something.
Yeah. So I get there. Yeah, I get there to this thing, and the listeners know this. But I thought I was going to be way early, and I ended up going way later. But I got up there, and I started doing. Obviously, I did Tennessee Jed, which is the Grateful Dead song out of all of the other band songs. Levon Helm covers a Grateful Dead tune, and I'm like, there's my end. So I know this song inside and out, and I didn't hear the musical cue that I was supposed to get to come in on every verse has the same exact thing happen right before the words start.
Right.
And I didn't hear my cue. And I was like, okay, so they're just doing another little fill or whatever. Well, they weren't. And I was supposed to have already started singing. And Patterson, the piano player, was like, hey, buddy, there's some more words to this on the microphone. And I was like, man, I was waiting for my spot. Like, I know this song. Like, I know how it goes. And I was waiting for it. It ended up working. I watched the video of it later, and I made a lot bigger deal out of it than it actually was.
Imagine that.
Yeah, exactly. But that being said, I wanted to do the thing that I talked to you about years ago with the Grateful Dead tribute at the Grateful Dead Dog tribute.
Right.
And I was thinking, man, like, just when I first started doing that, like, I think it's been a couple years now, because a couple months later I quit drinking. And that just, my whole life went in a rebuilding phase at that point, and it's just so much work to get everybody together. This show happens in October. Doc starts getting people signed on in, like, March.
Oh, yeah, you have to start early.
And I didn't realize how much work goes into actually planning this thing until I started diving into that Grateful Dead thing a couple of years ago. But I think within a year of having this thing go down.
That'd be cool. Let me know if I can help.
Well, you absolutely can, and I absolutely will. But, yeah, Doc is an absolute monster for being able to do those things. I don't know how he pulls it off. And organizes the band. Like, that's some Quincy Jones shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I've learned a lot between being involved in things, just knowing people involved in things, and then becoming part of the, Get Right promotions and doing the Waccamaw Getaway Festival and the Reggae on the Waccamaw Festival. However many things you think go into making a music festival or a music event, there is a list just as long that you didn't know.
Absolutely.
Or you didn't think of. Who knew there was such a thing as rain insurance? Yes, you can take out rain insurance on an event so that if it rains and nobody comes, you're insured.
Huh.
I never heard of such a thing, but yeah, there's rain insurance.
That's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Huh.
Yeah.
But, that's, especially in this area, you don't know when it's going to do what. Like, especially in the summer, it's a 30% chance of rain every day. And it could pour. I mean, 9 times out of 10, I get that a lot. There's been a few years, like, I think this year wasn't so bad. The hurricane was awful, but this year wasn't so bad. But a couple of years in a row, I could say that I'd lose at least like 2 weeks sporadically throughout the summer, just because rain. It'll rain for a week.
Yep.
And and everything gets canceled.
Hey, I've been keeping an eye on the weather for the marathon. Because that always affects it.
Yeah.
And there's a 40% chance of showers that first day. But you know what? If it's going to come, it's going to come.
And we can do
at the end of the day, we generally end up filling that trailer, and sometimes and then some.
Yeah.
Everybody always comes through for the marathon for meals, and people do things. The Island Bar is doing their potluck Thanksgiving dinner this Saturday. And everybody that's on the Facebook group and everything and being invited to it,
Bring
cans for the Marathon for Meals.
That's great.
I have a friend of mine is a professor at Coastal, and he always gives his students extra credit if they come over and help me out at the Marathon for Meals. If they come over and make a donation,
that's really awesome.
Them a little extra
that's
credit.
A good incentive.
Yeah. He said, just bring him a receipt, have me sign the. He hands out a form. I sign the form. The kids come, they bring me the food. I sign the form. They go back. They get a couple points extra credit on their grade.
That's nice.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much of an outpouring of effort amongst our general Myrtle Beach family and community that I don't let the weather worry me too much. Now, during that week, there will be my sporadic freakouts. The weather sucks. Hey, look at this guy. Hey, look at the guy in the $85,000 car who can't just stop and help us out. And how come there's people I know that could write us a check and fill that trailer in one sign of a pen and not even feel it, but they don't do. You go through those things.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that the people that can afford it the least are the ones that are going to give the most.
That's always the truth. And you mentioned that in our last episode when we did the hurricane talk. Like the people who really can't afford to do.
When I say they give the most, obviously that's not a numerical dollar figure. But what I mean is that everything's relative. Okay.
Yes.
You give to your ability to give. Okay, and more people with less means give their ability to give.
Yes.
I mean, that's not to say that there's not, a good number of people who are on the upper end of the income scale that help us out every year.
Yes.
In a great deal of way. I mean, big donations. I get them. We have businesses that collect for us and show up with truckloads of stuff. I mean, it's a beautiful thing all the way across the board. I said that earlier. But you do find that the majority of people who donate, if you were to just count the people, forget about the donation and just count the people, the majority of people who donate, it is harder for them to do it than those who it is not hard for.
That's that age-old question where you have a friend who has $100 and they give you 20, and another friend who has 5 and they give you the 5 who gave more.
Exactly. It's you can't measure everything in dollars because some things it's just not that simple.
If only. I wish that we could just do away with that. Just do away with the dollars and go back to the barter system. I wonder. I would probably be starving then, though, because
you and me both. Are you kidding me? What can you do? I could talk.
Yeah, I can talk to you. We can play some songs.
If you want to feed me, I'll talk. I mean, I don't have a whole lot to offer, but I don't know.
I'm not sure that's true. I think that not necessarily talking as much as just spreading love, which is the thing that you're the best at. I'm pretty sure.
You can't put a price on that. Look, I'm lucky enough to have a job that doesn't require backbreaking labor, or submitting to urine testing or having a dress code or anybody telling me to cut my hair. I get to play music I love, and I get to meet a lot of great people. Most people aren't that fortunate. So I don't have a lot of money because they don't pay it very well.
We'll still find something to complain about.
They don't pay it real well to have this awesome job, but
we get paid in.
But I got
happiness. I think
that's one way to look at it. But my point is I don't have a lot of money to give.
Yes,
but I can get the word out far and wide.
Same here.
So that's what we do.
Same here. And I say happiness. We get paid in comfort and convenience, I guess you would say. I would say for myself. Like, I don't make a shitload of money, but I do really dig what I do. And I will obviously find something to complain about because that's also what I do.
Yeah, well.
But I will sit back every now and again and just be like, I'm complaining about having to go do this thing, but this thing that I'm going to do, there are so many people who have to do regular work and wish they could do this thing that I'm doing. those people that do regular work are making more money than I am, but they're so unrewarded in their lives because they have to do that thing, and they would rather do
Nothing is what it seems from the outside.
Never.
Okay? Let me tell you, I spend a lot of time in a very small office typing on a computer, which is what millions of people do every day in millions of offices all over the country. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I'm doing per se. I'm still doing data entry. You know, this is a real live job. I still have to be here every day. I have to get up. I have office stuff I have to do. There are many regular things that occur here every day, that occur in every workplace in America. And it's a job. It's 40 plus hours a week. It's a job, you know. There are still people who ask me, so what do? You come in about, you know, a little bit, maybe an hour before you go on the air, and, you know, do your DJ thing, and that's it. And I'm like, it's a little more complicated than that, you know. And you know as well.
Yeah.
Somebody looks at you and says, you get paid to play guitar. And you're like, no, I get to play guitar. I get paid to carry equipment. I get paid to book gigs. I get paid to drive hundreds of miles a year just to get to gigs. I get paid to make set lists. I get, you know, I get paid to change strings. I get, you know, I get paid
to play shitty music that I don't really like that much because you asked me to do it.
I mean, nothing is what it seems.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's not entirely true, folks. I don't exactly get paid to play shitty music that I don't like.
No,
every
you get
now
paid
and
to
again,
play,
I do get paid.
You get paid to play shitty music that I don't like.
Exactly. Exactly.
But
it is what it is, though.
It is.
You gotta. I think that's, and I talk to a lot of people who are like, you know, man, I'm not gonna do, and I'm kind of going off a tangent, but I really don't want to do, like, I don't want to sit there and play Wagon Wheel or Tennessee Whiskey and all this. I'd rather play stuff that I want to play. And I'm like, that's cool. I like money.
Yeah, exactly. People ask me all the time. They say, you know, so many of my friends like the music that I like. You know, you know, come on, man, Widespread Panic's classic. Why can't you play them in the middle of the afternoon? And it's because the same thing. I don't get paid to play what I like. I get paid to play what the general populace likes. And when it comes to classic rock, we put a lot of effort into finding out what we should be playing.
Yes.
And if we're playing the wrong thing, we'll know it.
And those folks that listen are very used to hearing a certain set list, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what they like.
I mean,
give them what they want.
Give
the people what they want.
And if the general public wants something that we're not doing, they will make it very clear.
Yeah.
And we will course correct.
Absolutely. Which is, and I hate to quote Kevin Spacey because of what you know, who he is, and now that we found out, you know, what kind of person he is. But Kevin Spacey hit the nail on the head with people wanting to binge. Let them have all of the shows let them have every episode of a season of a show, and let them watch it in a night because that's what they want. It's not necessarily, and I know this is sort of apples to oranges here, but it's still the same situation. Give the people what they want, and your product will do better.
It will. And see, the way I look at it is, okay, we give the people what they want. Lots and lots of people listen, right? So when November rolls around, and we do the Marathon for Meals, we have the most people listening possible. That's more people to talk about it to other people that may not be listening.
Yes.
That's more of a reason for somebody like you to come in and do this, or the news to cover it. And basically, it just makes it even easier for us to raise a lot of food and feed a lot of people.
Yeah,
you know,
if I broaden your territory.
I mean, to put it into that scope, if I was to start just playing whatever I wanted on the radio, and all of a sudden we went from this many listeners to this many listeners, I can't fill a 16-foot trailer with food with this many listeners. I need this many listeners. So, I mean, you know, there's a... You know, I could do a whole episode with you about the difference between the way people think radio is and how it functions and how it should function versus how it does. And I could talk about endlessly about, you know, how radio is still here and how, you know, people will argue with time and again about different things. And it's like, at the end of the day, you know, just like anybody else in their chosen profession, you have to know how to succeed. And if you work for a corporation or a company and there's certain things that they want, you have to do those things.
Absolutely.
To be successful. You know, I mean, I don't have anybody that looks over my shoulder so closely to make sure what I'm playing. But if all of a sudden everything I was playing was weird and out of the ordinary, and we found out that we lost listeners, they're going to come to me and they're going to say, why did you do that? What were you trying to achieve? And how quickly can you put it back so that we can get back what we had? And if you don't, we will find somebody who will. Yes. It's no different than any other job. But at the end of the day, for me, if I do it right, that means I can do crazy things like, you know, feed people and stuff.
Yes, and also whenever we throw set lists out of the window for hurricane jams, we could get away with play a big something.
Yeah, well, that was a whole different situation.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, and actually being able to do something like that once in a while can actually bring you more people that get interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, and I feel the same way with playing music, is that I'll feel comfortable, like if I give them a couple of random top 40s over the last 20 or 30 years, they will be more apt to listen to a song that I wrote. You know, like
exactly. I mean, you know it too. You have to play the room. You have to play the room.
And every
you
room
have
is
to
different.
Read the audience.
Every room is different.
You have to read the audience. You knew you were talking about when Cornbread played the Marathon for Meals. You knew I'm going to play a lot of Grateful Dead songs because you knew I was there, and you knew some of our friends were there. You know,
Absolutely.
You looked at the crowd and said, "That's what we got to do." You show up at another crowd, and you're like, I just got to play country all night."
I feel like that is one of our strongest points as a band, and I feel, and not to brag on. And
yeah, I know. You did a whole episode about how you never brag on Cornbread.
I really don't. But
Cornbread can play anything. And
that's one thing that we're decent at is just knowing what the crowd wants to hear. Like we'll give you 4 or 5 songs from different baskets, and whichever one you like the most, we'll go down that road. And I wish that I had more. I wish that I had more will to do what I want to do, despite all whatever anybody thinks about it. But I want to make the crowd happy.
Right, but you have to do that in the right place.
Yes.
And the March Walk's not the right place.
Not at all.
However,
this area, not.
Well, there's places.
Or my circuit, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's places where original music is embraced and welcomed, and there's places where people want to go out and hear their favorites.
Yeah.
And you do know how to read that, and you do.
Now,
but you should get, if you have original music that you wish to share with the world, you should do it.
Oh yeah, well, and I'm going to start doing that. I actually might start doing a little on the YouTube channel. I might start doing some original song showcases, like where I'll just play a couple of songs that I'm working through or whatever, and try to get that out into the world. But I not to go down that road. BJ from Bourbon Street texted me the other day and was like, "Hey man, really enjoyed the podcast, man. He brought up the one, really enjoyed the one where Scott Mann was talking about people paying to see live music." And I was like, "Yeah, man, found out we had like 100 people pay money to see Danger Muff," and he was like, "That was a great night. That was awesome." Told him we were going to be talking about this, and I don't know what he said. There's something coming up soon. There's some show coming up soon, an original show that you may know, or do you know about an original show coming up soon?
There's a few of them
at Bourbon Street.
I know there's some things in the works.
Okay, well that might have been what he was alluding to a little bit, but getting people to pay for live music is I guess is not as hard as we thought it was going to be.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah.
You've got to give somebody something worth paying for.
Yes.
Okay? And people have to be willing to pay for something if they want to see it, if they want to hear it.
Absolutely.
You know, it's got to work, and it's a symbiotic relationship. The more people are willing to, the more often people are willing to pay a cover, the more money there is to work with to book better bands that are worthy of
Indeed.
a cover. But the demand is there. If you put the right band there, people will pay to see it. I mean, I remember when Driving and Crying came in and played at Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
They charged $10 cover. People came in. See, the problem is like what I hear most from different people associated with it, bar owners and such, is that they say that their regulars get pissed off. And I always have the same response because I feel so strongly about this that I've literally come up with an answer to any objection. Any objection.
Yeah.
If you're a regular at a bar, there's reasons for that. You like the people that work there, you like the atmosphere, you like the bar. So naturally you want to see the bar do well so that it's always there for you.
Yes.
Okay? But you being a regular doesn't preclude you from paying a cover when there's a band in there. You have two choices when you come to the door of your regular bar and they say, hey, that's going to be $10 to get in. We got a special band tonight. You can pay the $10 and go in and know that you're supporting your favorite place to hang out, making it more possible for them to be more successful. Or B, you can say, you know what? I'm not interested in the band. Maybe tonight I'm going to go down the street.
Yeah.
And I'll be back tomorrow. That's your two choices. The third choice that you think you have, you don't. Okay? Option 3 doesn't exist. Your third option is not to bitch and moan to the bar owner and say, I'm a regular, I'm here every day, I should get in for free. That's not an option.
You're just free every day.
You're just being a dick, frankly, because here's the thing. The bar owner owns your regular bar and is supposedly your friend is bringing in a special band to increase his business.
Yes.
And he has to charge at the door to pay for that band. If you don't want to see the band, that's cool. He's not going to be upset if you don't sit there and drink tonight. He knows you'll be back tomorrow. But there's going to be people in that bar that have maybe never been there, and they're going to pay to see this band, and then they may come back to the bar, and it becomes successful for everybody.
That's what you're going for. You want why would you not support the place that you call your second home, basically?
Yeah, I mean, really, and we're not talking about a fortune here, okay? I saw a guy at that Danger Muffin show throw a fit and walk away angry because of a $5 cover. $5. You know what? Just because you hang out at the mall every day doesn't mean you're going to get into the movie theater for free.
That's very true. And then that's literally a great analogy because it's something different that you wouldn't normally have. I get why I get why people get upset about things like, oh, it'll piss off our regulars. But I don't understand why you want people like that. Like those people don't give a shit about you. They're just selfish. That's a selfish way to act.
I mean, I don't want to paint everybody with the same brush. That's not fair.
No, not at all. But there's a lot of those people.
I don't know. That's just the way I see it. I'm sure that there are plenty of people that probably have, really think they're justified in that. And I'm sorry, you can't get something for nothing in this world. I don't know why people think that you don't get movies for free unless you steal them. You don't get music for free unless you steal it. Yeah. You don't get food for free unless you steal it or unless you're poor enough to qualify for it. Why on earth do you think that a musician should play for you for free? And if you say, well, I don't go in here for the musician. I don't care about the musician. I don't want the musician to play for free. The musician could pack up and leave for all I care.
That's fine.
That's
You're not
fine.
the only person in the
But that's
bar.
fine. But just out of a hat, maybe Thursday nights are the nights you don't go out to the bar. You go out and you do something else. You stay home. You go to a different bar. Spread your wealth around a little bit. Spread your business around a little bit. Support some other people. If you're looking for the kind of bar that you hang out at day after day after day, with the same people that is just there for that, there are plenty of those places.
Yeah.
But, Bourbon Street, I'll use as an example, Bourbon Street, from the time it was opened touting itself as a live music location. I remember when they first opened, they had live music every night. There is a stage in there. It is a permanent fixture. That stage is permanent.
First thing you see when you walk in.
Bourbon Street is a live music venue. And there are certain bands that in order for them to pay to have these bands there, a cover has to be charged. And if what happens is there are places that won't ever charge a cover because they don't want to, so they don't increase the budget for bands.
Yeah.
And then people say, well, why do you have the same bands over and over again? Well, because in order for us to get bands from outside, we have to pay them more. In order for us to pay them more, we got to charge you a cover.
And you don't want that, do you?
So
and those people don't want that. Well, that's something that people are going to have to learn to deal with. I feel like that. I feel like there used to be so many more than that, right? There used to be a lot of places that would have a cover charge for decent bands that would.
Well, I mean, look, I've lived in Myrtle Beach now for 20 years.
Yeah.
Before that, I lived in Greenville, South Carolina, and before that, I lived in upstate New York. In Greenville, in upstate New York, from the time I was old enough to go out to bars, it didn't matter who was playing, and it didn't matter what they were playing. You paid a cover.
Yeah.
If there was a band in there, if Cornbread was playing in a bar where I'm from, and just was in there playing covers all night, you paid $5 at the door.
Same deal in Wilmington. There's a couple places we played in Wilmington where there's always a cover.
If there's live music, there's a cover. You don't get it for free. That's why it's so weird around here to people that are from other places that are involved in music scenes.
Yeah.
It's a very, very commonplace. It's the norm. It really is. It's that simple. It's the norm. You go see a band, you pay a cover. There's no such thing. You know, every once in a while somebody does something for free as a special event. You know, it's our anniversary, no cover tonight with such and such band. But in general, if there's a band, if there's a DJ, even a DJ, you go to a dance club, there's a DJ, you pay a cover.
Yeah. It's all of us bands that are willing to go in there and play for free and do your Tennessee whiskeys and all that jazz.
Well, it's a different atmosphere, but, you know, the other side of it is those of you that have shown that you're interested in original music and good music and jam music or blues or whatever it is you listen to. Bands. Big Something came to House of Blues once. We had Danger Muffin here. Hey, how about some other bands? What's going on? You got to come out. You got to support it. Yeah. Okay? If you hear me shooting off at the mouth on Facebook or on the radio or whatever about a band that you may not have heard of, but I'm telling you, they're great, go see them.
Yes.
If the kind of music that you know that I talk about, if that's the kind of thing you like, I try not to steer you wrong, but if this is the kind of scene that you want, you have to support it. You have to be willing to go. You have to be willing to pay $5 or $10 at the door if you're a band that there might be a small chance you might not like them. You know what? I went and saw Bohemian Rhapsody Monday night at the movies. It was awesome. But if I had gone to see Bohemian Rhapsody and I hated it, I wouldn't be able to go to the theater management and say, yeah, I'd really like my money back. That movie sucked.
Yeah, because you don't pay. You pay for
People are more than willing to risk their $10 on a movie they've never seen and risk it sucking at a movie theater without a second thought. But you're afraid to spend it on a band you've never heard of? What happens if you don't like them? Oh, well, guess I'll never go see them again.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, it just, you know, that just makes sense to me.
Yeah, I get you, man. There's a lot of people that wouldn't mind paying a cover if it's a decent enough band. Yeah, we'll.
No, I don't think. I think that's true. I mean, the Danger Muffin show showed that.
Yes.
You know, but Danger Muffin is also a band that's been around a while and people know them and it's a familiar name around here. Now, I could say, this is an example I'll use. I could say Big Nomads. Who's that? Well, Nick and the Nomads is Nick McDaniels, the lead singer of Big Something, and several other members of Big Something and doing a little side project.
Yeah.
Okay? Casey Cranford from Big Something also has a side, okay? Now,
Nick and the Nomads, Casey in the comments. I love that.
Okay, but here's the thing.
That's so good.
But here's the thing. Know you're a hardcore Big Something guy like I am,
you're not going to know.
You're not going to know who they are.
Yeah.
So are you going to miss that because, well, I'm not sure who they are, so I'm not going to pay. I don't want to pay a cover for that. But if you heard people around you saying, no, go see them. Go see them. $5, go see them.
Yeah.
Isn't it worth the risk of $5 at something maybe, you know, that it might be worth your time?
When you're paying $5, not necessarily to see this band, but to foster a decent music scene in this area.
That's the way to look at it. You know what? If there's an original band coming, if you hear me or see it somewhere that, hey, Bourbon Street or wherever has this band coming in and there's a $5 cover, come support the scene. Go and support the scene. Even if you don't like the band, you're contributing to the scene so that we can bring in more bands and bigger bands and better bands.
That's the trick. That's the way to look at it. You're not paying $5 for a band. You're paying $5 to better our music scene.
There you go.
And who wouldn't give $5 to do that?
And you know what? Else we need to improve the music scene is we're musicians too.
Indeed. All comes full circle.
It's got to come full circle.
Well, I got another meeting I'm going to get to here in a little bit, but first I have to tell you these hilarious things around the election yesterday. I told you that I was going to tell you some funny things.
Funny things around the election.
Speaking of which, I hope you voted. I hope you went and voted, but we'll I'm sure a lot of people didn't. You can tell in the polls. Anyway,
there was record turnout.
Really?
All over the country, there was record turnout for both parties.
Well, so, you know what?
That's very, very high voting numbers, especially for a midterm election.
I would be actually okay even if the person that I didn't really care for gets elected, as long as more people vote. And you get a more true reading of
quick observation without getting into opinionated.
Yeah.
Quick observation. After watching the coverage last night, here is what I've personally determined from what I saw on TV. Almost all the races were incredibly close. Some of them were literally a whisker of a win. I mean, so close. So basically what I see here is we've got a country where about half of us lean one way and about half of us lean the other way.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, if we don't start getting along with one another, we're never going to get a damn thing done.
We've got to make that connection.
Because don't give me this, the thing that drives me the most crazy that I hear from politicians of both sides is, this is what the American people want. Okay? The election yesterday shows me that for every American that wants what you want, there's somebody else who doesn't.
Yes.
We are literally at about a 50-50 split. So no, there's no huge blue wave, there's no huge red wave. All there is a government full of people representing a country full of people who, as many think one way, think the other.
That's right.
And as people have said many times, there's probably a lot more things in common that we have with people who think differently than us than things we don't.
That's true.
So, I really believe that most of the country is, somewhere within shouting distance of the other. The fringes are the ones that are all screaming and yelling.
Yeah, and they're the same person. The far left and the far right are the same person.
That being said, I'm not necessarily saying that I'm not one of the crazies.
Yo.
But I'm saying that from what I saw, the average person in America is somewhere in the middle, and we've got just as many on the left as we do on the right. So if we have this balance, this 50-50 balance in America, we some balance in our government so that there's, both sides have equal view.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people want. That's just a guess based on what I saw last night. I mean, losing 49.5 to 50.5.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
There was a lot of really close calls, and Texas was one that was a huge deal because I really like that Beto guy, Beto O'Rourke.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. There
I
are
like
already,
a lot of things that he says.
There are already people whispering about him for 2020. And
dude, I really like that guy.
That's,
I really like what he says.
That's a lot deeper than I'm willing to go right about now.
Yeah, but he says a lot of things I agree with.
And, I'll admit that. Most people who know me know where I stand politically. It's no giant secret. I mean, look at me, for God's sake. But I liked him, too. And
I don't care about the letter beside his name. I don't care whether it's D or R. That doesn't matter to me. I like he looks he
looks like the kind of guy that's got bodies buried somewhere. I'm not saying he does.
Yeah, he does look that way. But the funny thing that I was going to mention is, are you familiar with the Bunny Ranch, which is the brothel that's outside of Vegas? The owner who passed away recently?
Yeah, he won.
Yeah, he won an election in Nevada. And in Virginia, a guy who has written a Bigfoot erotica novel beat Olivia Wilde's mother in a Virginia election.
Bigfoot erotica.
You heard me right.
I don't know what that is.
But you can.
I don't want to know what that is, and I truly, truly hope with all my heart that you don't know what that is either.
Listen, I know what it is, but I'm in this Discord channel with a lot of small beans people. Shout out small beans people. Small beans is what cracked.com. You remember cracked.com? It's sort of like Mad TV.
Oh, dude. I subscribed to Cracked magazine when I was a kid, long before the internet was ever thought of.
Well, Cracked.com pretty much got a lot of the people at Cracked.com left to do their own things, and it sort of dissolved. And now the core of the Cracked.com people now do this thing called Small Beans, and I'm somewhat involved in that crew. And there was this whole long thing in their Discord channel about Bigfoot erotica, and like how there are just Bigfoot porns and books.
You know
and all
what?
this stuff. I know, I know. But I learned all about this stuff through the Discord channel. So I'm like scrolling through today, and I see this thing that says Bigfoot erotica author elected in Virginia, and I was like, I'm gonna click on that. Because why not? Listen.
Why wouldn't you, right?
Somebody who writes Bigfoot erotica novels is now an elected official in the state which our nation's capital resides.
Yeah, but here, watch me play devil's advocate on this.
Okay.
There is something that you do that you would never, ever, 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 ever want anybody else in the world to find out that you do.
True story.
Everybody has that.
Yes.
Every human being has that.
Yeah.
Okay? Including every elected official.
Absolutely.
Okay? So people know that this guy wrote Bigfoot erotica. But that doesn't mean that the guy who got elected in the other state doesn't do something equally off.
Very true.
You just don't know it.
That's true.
We're all human. We're all human. Okay?
But what human right Bigfoot erotica? I know.
No, we got. Hey, look, our night guy on Wave, Charlie Steele.
Yeah.
Voted topless because he wore a T-shirt with a candidate's name on it. Wasn't even a candidate that's currently running for office, but oh, come on, say it doesn't matter. It was on the news. The guy went to the polling place wearing a Trump T-shirt. And it's against the law to go to a polling place with any kind of political message whatsoever on your person or carrying.
Yes.
So they told him he could not vote because he was wearing that shirt. So he stripped off his shirt and went in and voted. It's on the air, but the question was, what if that had been a woman? And if she stripped off her shirt, would she have been allowed to vote?
Now, there's a question.
And you know what? I'm not going to answer it.
I can answer it. I don't know what the answer to that is. I mean, I probably know what the answer to that is.
There's what? Something to think about.
Yeah, there's something to think about. There's something to leave you with, folks. Brother Scott, any final thoughts on the Marathon for Meals?
Just please come and be a part of it.
Yeah.
It's at, again, Food Lion, 38th Avenue North. It starts on Friday morning at 8 a.m. We'll be there 8 to 6 Friday, 8 to 6 Saturday, 10 to 6 Sunday, and then 8 to 6 Monday through Thursday. I know that, like I said, there's a lot of alternative drop-off points at wave104.com. Do whatever's most convenient for you. But as I say every year, if you donate where I am at a time when I'm there, I can say thank you personally and give you a hug if you'll take one. But by all means, come by. Tommy and Corby will be there over the weekend, and Rick and Charlie. We're all going to be out. So please come hang out with us and buy some food and help feed some people. One of the greatest things you'll ever experience is the feeling of knowing you helped somebody that you will never, ever in a million years meet.
Absolutely.
It really is. Think about it this way. The holiday season, everybody gets in that mode to do good things. This is the very beginning of the holiday season. You can get this shit out of the way now.
Get your feel goods happening.
You can get it out of the way right at the get-go. Make your donation right up front, and then you can go about the business of preparing for your own holidays, knowing full well that you did for somebody else before anything else.
That's a beautiful thing. Get excited about this stuff, folks. Well, the meeting that I'm actually about to go be a part of, we're doing this fishing show, a spoof fishing show called Some Dumb Fishing Show. And I'm doing the music and running sound for it. And I've recorded all of these neat little songs for like fishing music songs. So for stuff to like pull inspirations from But that's where I'm going, and it's something that's pretty interesting that you'll really dig. You know how those old school fishing shows where just old guys sitting in a boat and it's just quiet and they're just. I'm sure you probably never watched a fishing show.
I have watched a fishing show or two.
Well, we're gonna spoof them.
Well, that sounds like fun.
And it's me at Horse Some Dumb Fishing Show's channel. Hit subscribe, and I'm probably gonna try to put my channel in here as links, folks. Love you, mean it. Tell the good people farewell, Brother Scott.
Farewell, Brother Scott.
Farewell, Brother Scott. Love you, mean it. Be good people. Don't be a shithead.
We are all we have.
We are all we have. Peace, bitches.